So there was this guy named Filthy Frank, right? And he was known for doing disgusting things and doing weird things in public, and eating his friend's hair, and eating a cake made out of vomit, and saying really, really edgy things that no one liked. And a lot of people loved him because he was edgy, and people who are 13 to 16 years old really love edgy shit. And he gained this huge platform off of that. And I was one of the people who would watch him, and I thought it was interesting at the time because I was also kind of edgy. Then I grew out of it. And once I grew out of it, I stopped watching his videos because they weren't really that interesting anymore. I grew as a person and I moved on from my weird ways. And guess what? He did too. He moved on from his weird ways. He continued to do music instead of keep up that weird act. And it worked out way better than I expected. He actually blew up to be huge. And now he changed his name, everything. His name's Joji, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And now there's like a couple fans who brought up his old ways. And everyone can see why this is a problem. Everyone keeps mentioning, oh, why didn't you know this before, dude? He was so popular and all that stuff. But for some reason, when someone was edgy before we knew them, then it becomes a problem. Because the main fuel of this cancel culture stuff is ignorance. Every canceled person ever has always been the same. They've always been themselves and have continued to grow throughout their life. The only difference is that you didn't know that side of them yet. Celebrities get the worst of it because we don't really know them. We just know their music or their art, and then we somehow pin this perfection on them. They have to be perfect. But suddenly they slip up and you find out what they did and you feel like canceling them for it. And I understand your feelings when you feel that way, but you still have to admit that the only reason you're canceling them is because you just didn't know. And this is the part where I get to push my agenda. You are stupid. That's right. You're dumb. You don't know a lot of things. You're pretty ignorant, actually. You don't know many things. You don't know what people are going through. You have no idea what other countries are going through. You have no idea what your next door neighbor is going through. But whenever you don't know something, what you do like to do is pin everything as perfect. If someone's not telling you what's going on, then their life must be perfect. And you fill in all the information with just what you know. An example of this is the fact that most American white teenagers think that all of Africa is starving because they saw one commercial of a starving African child. This is why most white American teenagers can name 300 breeds of dogs, but can't tell the difference between two Spanish-speaking people, and he just calls them Mexicans. It's because they're not exposed to it. They don't know it, so they fill in all the blanks. And we do this with everything. We do it in relationships. That's why whenever you dive into a relationship and you finally get to touch the water and you understand who the person is, you hop out immediately and dive into another pool. Because all you really fell in love with was the dive and you weren't really ready for all the other junk that came with it. We do this whenever someone comments something rude about you. Let me ask you this. Has anyone been rude when they had a perfect day? Like if your day was amazing, would you really go on the internet to type something rude? No, because their day sucked. Their day sucked, so they went on the internet and took it out on you. But you don't think about that. You don't think about that stuff. You think their day was perfect, and they still chose to say something rude to you. And you let it ruin your day, and now you're gonna go ruin someone else's. This ignorant mindset that we all share that's fueled of just ignorance has caused so much pain to so many people. It's ruined careers, it's ruined relationships, and for what? You wanna pretend like you got everything handled. You wanna pretend like you know what someone's about, but you don't know anything. So stop pretending like you do. When you're faced with a negative situation, just say, I don't know. I don't know what that person went through. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who they are. Whenever you look up to a celebrity, just admit that you don't know them. They're not just crafters who make something for you and then suddenly disappear and are perfect human beings forever. So it's okay if Joji sucks. It's okay if Filthy Frank sucks. The point is that he's growing, that he's a different person now and he's choosing to be different. Which is an apology at the end of the day, because you couldn't possibly expect this man to just be some perfect dude. And the only difference between the people who are trying to cancel him and the people who are not is ignorance. Some people knew him and some people didn't. So yes, you can be a human being who eats vomit cake and then turns into an actually amazing artist. It's very possible. You can change. Edgy teenagers on the internet are going to change one day. And yes, they should be held responsible for what they say, but don't end their lives when they've already changed. Because change is good. We like change. I myself am changing every single day. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Bars. Have a good one. Love you guys. God is great. Have a good one. Peace.